way this is Taraji. What has happened to Taraji? That's impossible. There's no way that this is Taraji. What happened to her? She looks very, very different. And everybody around her is embracing a new look.
You're not drinking, or decision to not drink anymore? How did
I do have my wine brand, and I love my 7 daughters, but I do take breaks. For 5 months I had stopped drinking because I felt like I needed clarity. I needed to get rid of some negative energy that was in my life that I couldn't see. And not to say that I have a drinking problem or anything like that. I just think like you fast sometimes because you need to reset your system. I did this sobriety for like 5 months.
Have you ever looked at someone who seems to have everything? Awards, fame, respect, and wondered why they suddenly appear so different? That's exactly the question fans started asking when Taraji P. Henson recently stepped into the spotlight looking transformed. At first glance, many assumed it was just another Hollywood makeover. After all, reinvention is practically part of the job in the entertainment industry. But according to growing speculation and industry insiders, this wasn't simply about changing her appearance. Some believe it was the visible sign of a much deeper struggle, one involving years of professional disappointment, emotional exhaustion, and a career that never received the rewards many believe it deserved. For someone as accomplished as Taraji, this story is difficult to ignore. She's an Academy Award nominee. She helped redefine television with her unforgettable performance as Cookie Lyon in Empire. She has consistently delivered memorable performances for more than 2 decades. Yet despite all of those achievements, she has repeatedly spoken about feeling undervalued, underpaid, and forced to fight battles that many of her peers never had to face. The question is, how did one of Hollywood's most respected actresses end up feeling pushed to the sidelines? To understand what happened, we have to go back to the beginning. Taraji's career has never followed the fairy tale path many people imagine. Long before becoming a household name, she worked tirelessly to prove herself in an industry where opportunities were already limited for Black actresses. One of her earliest breakthrough performances came in Baby Boy. Critics noticed her talent immediately, and audiences connected with her natural screen presence. Many expected that role to launch her into superstardom. Instead, something unexpected happened. While several of her co-stars quickly moved on to larger franchises and higher-profile projects, Taraji found herself starting over again. Every new opportunity felt like another audition, instead of a reward for her previous success. Then came Hustle and Flow. Once again, her performance earned praise. Once again, people predicted bigger things were ahead. But history repeated itself. The major career breakthrough never truly arrived. Then everything seemed ready to change. In 2008, Taraji landed one of the biggest roles of her career in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, starring alongside Brad Pitt and Cate Blanchett. For most actors, receiving an Academy Award nomination changes everything. It opens doors. It increases salaries. It changes how studios negotiate. At least, that's how it's supposed to work. For Taraji, reality looked very different. She later revealed that when negotiations began for the film, she requested a salary of $500,000, a figure many believed was completely reasonable considering the importance of her role. The studio reportedly declined. Instead, they offered only a fraction of what she requested. After negotiations, the amount increased slightly, but once taxes, commissions, legal fees, and management costs were deducted, Taraji has said that she personally took home only a small portion of that paycheck. Meanwhile, the film became a worldwide success, earning hundreds of millions of dollars at the box office. Imagine watching a film become a massive hit while knowing that your compensation barely reflected your contribution. Most people would have walked away feeling bitter. Taraji didn't. She swallowed her disappointment and focused on delivering the strongest performance possible. Years later, she explained that at the time she wasn't thinking about awards or prestige. She simply felt honored to work alongside actors she admired. That mindset earned her respect, but it didn't change how Hollywood treated her. Again and again, the pattern continued. Critical acclaim, outstanding performances, public praise, then silence. The breakthrough she had been waiting for somehow remained just out of reach. Everything changed when Empire arrived. Cookie Lyon wasn't just another television character. She became a cultural phenomenon. Fans quoted her lines. Her fashion inspired trends. Social media exploded every week whenever she appeared on screen. For many viewers, Cookie became the heart of the show. Finally, it looked like Taraji had become impossible for Hollywood to ignore. Surely this would be the moment when everything changed. Except it didn't. Behind the scenes, Taraji later revealed that she still found herself fighting for compensation she believed matched her success. Even more frustrating, she felt that the incredible popularity of Cookie Lyon wasn't being translated into new business opportunities. Endorsement deals, major campaigns, high-profile projects, spin-offs. The momentum simply wasn't there. At one point, plans reportedly existed for additional projects centered around Cookie Lyon. But according to Taraji, those opportunities slipped away because of poor management and missed negotiations. The disappointment became impossible to ignore. Eventually, she made one of the biggest decisions of her career. She fired her entire team. From her perspective, something wasn't working. Despite starring in one of television's biggest shows, she wasn't seeing the career growth she expected. It wasn't just about money anymore. It was about respect, recognition, value. For years, Taraji had accepted difficult situations because she believed hard work would eventually be rewarded. But after Empire, that belief started to crack. She reached a point where she publicly declared something many actors are afraid to say. If the offer doesn't reflect my worth, I'd rather walk away. That statement made headlines. Some applauded her for standing up not only for herself, but for countless actresses facing similar struggles. Others quietly wondered whether speaking so openly could hurt her career. Hollywood has always celebrated confidence, until that confidence begins questioning the system itself. As Taraji became increasingly vocal about unequal pay and the treatment of Black actresses, she noticed something else changing. The opportunities didn't increase. If anything, they seemed to slow down. The conversations she was having publicly about fairness were inspiring many fans. But according to reports and industry speculation, they were also making some powerful people uncomfortable. The situation eventually reached a boiling point during the promotional campaign for the color purple. What was supposed to be a celebration of one of the year's biggest films became something entirely different. During multiple interviews, Taraji spoke openly about the emotional exhaustion she had been carrying for years. She admitted she was tired. Not tired of acting. Tired of constantly fighting. Fighting for fair pay. Fighting for equal treatment. Fighting to receive the same respect she believed her resume had already earned. In one emotional interview, she even admitted that she had seriously considered walking away from acting altogether. For fans who had watched her dominate screens for more than 20 years, the confession was heartbreaking. How could someone with so much success still feel so defeated? That question would only become more complicated as new rumors began circulating throughout Hollywood. For years, Taraji P. Henson carried the weight of frustration behind a confident smile. Audiences saw a successful actress walking red carpets, starring in hit films, and collecting awards. But behind the cameras, she says she was fighting battles that most people never saw. By the time The Color Purple entered production, those years of pressure had reached a breaking point. Instead of promoting the film with the usual excitement, Taraji used interviews to speak honestly about what life had been like behind the scenes. She described the emotional exhaustion of spending decades proving herself while still having to negotiate for things she believed should have already been guaranteed. It wasn't just about salary anymore. According to her comments during interviews, she was frustrated by constantly having to fight for basic workplace accommodations and fair treatment despite having one of the strongest resumes in Hollywood. Then came the interview that captured everyone's attention. When asked whether she had considered leaving acting altogether, Taraji didn't hesitate. She admitted that she had. Not because she no longer loved acting, but because she was tired. Tired of working harder than ever while feeling like the rewards never matched the effort. Tired of watching history repeat itself. Tired of hearing other Black actresses describe the exact same experiences. Her words resonated far beyond Hollywood. Millions of viewers saw someone who wasn't simply complaining about money. They saw someone questioning whether decades of excellence were ever going to be enough. For many fans, it was one of the most honest celebrity interviews they had ever seen. But honesty often comes with consequences. Almost immediately, the conversation shifted. Instead of discussing the industry's treatment of Black actresses, some commentators began focusing on Taraji herself. Was she being too outspoken? Was she damaging the movie's promotional campaign? Had she crossed an invisible line that Hollywood expects actors never to cross? Those questions spread quickly. Meanwhile, other actresses publicly expressed support. Several women in the industry echoed the concerns Taraji had raised, suggesting that unequal treatment wasn't unique to her experience. Their support reinforced the idea that the issue extended far beyond one individual. Still, according to speculation reflected in the original transcript, some believe the industry's response was less than welcoming. Rumors began circulating that Taraji had become difficult to work with, a label that has historically followed many performers who openly challenge powerful systems. Whether those rumors reflected reality or simply industry, gossip remains unverified. But one thing became clear. Public perception had begun to change. Around the same time, discussions also emerged surrounding Taraji's personal life. She had previously been open about reevaluating her relationship with alcohol and prioritizing her mental well-being. Rather than hiding those struggles, she spoke candidly about recognizing unhealthy coping mechanisms and deciding to make changes. She explained that stepping away from alcohol helped bring clarity. She also shared that she took time away for personal healing, including a restorative trip focused on improving her emotional health. For many supporters, those admissions demonstrated strength. Choosing healing instead of silence isn't easy, especially in an industry where vulnerability can easily be misunderstood. Yet once public narratives begin forming, they're often difficult to stop. The original transcript claims that some reports linked her past struggles with alcohol to speculation about her professional reliability, though these claims remain allegations rather than established facts. Whether fair or unfair, perception often becomes reality in Hollywood. And perception can determine who gets the next opportunity. As another challenge emerged, time itself became an obstacle. Hollywood has long faced criticism for offering fewer substantial roles to women as they grow older. For actresses over 50, meaningful leading roles often become increasingly rare. For Black actresses, many argue those opportunities become even more limited. Instead of complex protagonists, the available characters frequently become mothers, grandmothers, or supporting figures with far less screen time. After decades of proving her talent, Taraji found herself navigating an industry that many believe still struggles to create enough compelling roles for women in her stage of life. That's why every career decision carried enormous weight. Every audition mattered. Every headline mattered. Every public appearance mattered. Then fans noticed something else. Taraji appeared with a noticeably refreshed look. Social media immediately exploded with speculation. Some praised her transformation. Others wondered whether she was simply embracing a new chapter in her life. The transcript also presents speculation that some observers, including references involving rapper and actor Common, interpreted the makeover as an attempt to revive career momentum. However, that interpretation is speculative and not established as fact. Regardless of the reason behind her appearance, the larger conversation wasn't really about cosmetic changes. It was about survival. How does an actress remain relevant after decades in an industry that often moves on quickly? How do you continue believing in yourself when success never seems to erase old obstacles? Those questions resonated with countless people outside Hollywood. Because Taraji's story isn't only about acting. It's about anyone who has worked tirelessly only to feel overlooked. Anyone who has watched others advance while constantly having to prove themselves all over again. Anyone who has questioned whether hard work alone is enough. That may explain why so many fans rallied behind her. Across social media, supporters praised her courage, describing her as one of the most talented performers of her generation and expressing frustration over what they viewed as unequal treatment. The transcript concludes with numerous supportive public reactions emphasizing her talent and resilience. Of course, not everyone agreed. Some critics argued that discussing salary disputes during a major film's press tour distracted attention from the movie itself. Others believed remaining silent would only allow the cycle to continue. The debate continues today. Should actors use their platform to expose problems within the industry? Or should those conversations happen privately? There isn't a simple answer. What is undeniable is that Taraji P. Henson changed the conversation. Whether people agreed with her or disagreed, they listened. And perhaps that's the biggest legacy of this chapter in her career. She refused to pretend everything was fine. She chose transparency over comfort. She spoke about exhaustion instead of hiding it. She admitted she had reached her limit instead of protecting an image of perfection. In an industry built on appearances, that level of honesty is rare. As for what comes next, only time will tell. Hollywood has surprised audiences before. Careers have been revived. Narratives have changed. Stars once considered finished have returned stronger than ever. Taraji's remarkable body of work hasn't disappeared. Her talent hasn't vanished. Her impact on film and television remains undeniable. Whether this period becomes the closing chapter of one era or the beginning of an entirely new one is something only the future can reveal. But one thing is certain. Her story has become about much more than awards or paychecks. It has become a conversation about fairness, resilience, representation, and the cost of speaking your truth. And perhaps that's why millions continue to watch. Not just to see what Taraji P. Henson does next, but to find out whether Hollywood is finally ready to listen.